Yes, yes. And I'm going to also spotlight Yolanda and I, but you can put it back in gallery mode. And this is for recording purposes only because you all have not given us permission to be sharing you all over these digital streets. And so we don't want to do that without your permission. But anyway, so uh, you can hit the view button at the top and go back to gallery view if you want to have everyone stay um, big boy size on the screen. All right. Someone else just jumped on. Who is that? Is that Jill or is that Ann or is that um, Nikki or is that the other Brenda or is that Antoinette?
I don't think
Anybody else that's on?
I-
Oh, anybody else on here? Anybody
I
else?
saw I saw Brenda popped on and off.
Oh, she's still
But
here.
somebody on an iPhone is on. I don't know who it is.
Oh, that's Ann. Hello,
That's
Ann.
it. Okay.
All right, that's Miss Ann. Good to see you, Miss Ann.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. Your daughter notified me and said she'll be just a little late,
Yes.
but it's so good to see you and hear your voice.
Thank you.
So yeah, so tonight, ladies, and from this only gentleman. Oh, here comes Nikki Hall. All right, so we'll wait, let Nikki get in here. All right, all right. Yes, there's Nikki Hall. Hello, Nikki Hall.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi. I wanted to come in and say hi real quick. My life feels so abnormal right now. I'm doing a certification with Humana as a Medicare field sales rep. So I literally feel like I'm in school for a master's.
Bless your heart.
Pray
Well,
for me.
yes,
You're praying your strength.
yes. Well, you got this.
One
Yes.
more week. Next week's my last week and I'll be out in the field. So
Well,
yeah.
good for you. All right. Well, look.
You look good, Yolanda. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very
Oh,
well.
she looked good tonight.
Very well.
Look, she looked more beautiful. I'm not being ugly or funny, but you really look more radiant than you did
You,
before.
you
What?
really do. You
Thank
really
Honest to
do.
God. Honest to God.
because
Hey,
I've been radiant and happy the entire time.
I know, but you're looking good for real. I mean, like,
Uh-huh.
wow.
Well,
This is more my this is my normal.
Is it?
This is my normal. Yeah. So I was in abundance before.
Wow.
This
I'm
is-
amazed because you've actually turned back some years.
oh
Watch
yeah.
out, Oliver. Watch out.
That's right.
well,
That's
you
right.
ain't say nothing about me.
Oh Lord.
You look great too, Oliver. Both of y'all look wonderful.
Thank you, Nikki.
Hmm
I
I'm taking my
salute.
grand dog out to the bathroom.
All right. Well, there's so much love. We should spread it all over the world, right?
Yes, we do.
Look, love has forgotten no one. I say that all the time.
Amen. Amen.
Can
Well,
you hear
anyway,
me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
yes, we
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
right. All right.
You
Well, look,
I,
go ahead.
I second I second what Nikki said. You both look wonderful.
Well,
Oh,
Yeah.
so
thank you, Ann. Thank you so much.
Come on,
you all
Cody.
you all look full of
Yeah.
love and light and
Yes.
life
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
yeah. Come on. Come on,
Uh,
Coco.
so what we're gonna do is jump right in. We're gonna finish this lesson 4 on desire tonight. So, and we're gonna come at it from a few different angles because I think the biggest myth the biggest myth in life that we all experience at some point
Come
is
on.
that you gotta watch your desires. You gotta uh, some of us can't get 2 cents to rub together because we've been programmed think that, the desire for money is evil, because the Bible said, the root of all evil is money, and then somewhere that get planted in our hearts, and then we think we because we're on the spiritual path, we can't have abundance. Well, we need to kick that sacred cow to the curb, right? Some of us grew up thinking sex was wrong, or some of us grew up thinking that you couldn't go and dance. That was wrong. That was the desire. You wanted to dance, you couldn't go because you was being mentored by people to say dancing won't right. Right?
I'm sorry. What was the thing that you said before dancing, Oliver?
Sex. Some of us grew up afraid of sex because that was what we were told. That desire, you need to squelch it. You need to
I'm
say.
still afraid of it.
Well, you got how many kids you got, Nikki?
I got 4 and 10 grandchildren, but
Well, at some point you lost your fear.
I, I don't want to go to hell, so.
Well, listen.
Old people will say whatever they want to say.
Well, look, let me go ahead and put a disclaimer out there tonight. Let me put a disclaimer out there tonight. That energy that flows through all of us to say, sure be nice to have some key lime pie. Sure be nice to have some ice cream tonight. I think I'll watch a good movie on Netflix. I think I just want to go down to the local, deli and just eat me a ham sandwich. I sure feel like scratching my back. I like to go in and take a hot bath or a warm shower. Well, all of these ideas, all of these desires, they're all coming from the same place, and that is the energy of life. Remember, we talked about the waves that come to the ocean last week? Every wave, yeah. So every thought we get, every desire that we get, it is just love desiring to express itself in and as you in a unique way. But a lot of times we have allowed programming, pre-programming. We have allowed well-meaning people, including parents, to indoctrinate us to say what was good or bad, and we held that as our own measuring stick, and so we find ourselves suppressing the very desires that love is is trying to get through us, to express through us and as us. So if you really read this chapter, it really hits to it hits to the heart of that. And tonight we want to kick down all those sacred cows, right? We like we said here, this is an expansive gathering. It's not a contractive gathering. Love is not contracting. Love is expansive and expressive.
I'll be right back, babe, okay?
So tonight we're gonna look at some of those things. Right.
Y'all will forgive me if I don't interact a lot.
That's
Okay,
fine.
because I'm still in my study. I have to take a quiz, but I do want to listen.
That's fine. We're gonna put you on mute so we don't get it. Now. So, yeah. All right. So we're good, right? So desire, right? What does this lesson teach?
I was like,
Good. Okay. So what is this lesson real? What is this lesson really teaching us? This chapter, the thread of desire. Really, my big takeaway from this is that desire is the expression of our innocence. It's really what this chapter is about. And the expression of our innocence come through desire, right? And so in order for us to be open to allow this energy to flow through us, there's some things we have to let go, like some ideas that we have to let go, some judgments we have to let go. Because those are the very things that will suppress us from experiencing the fullness of our own self, the fullness of our own love, the fullness of our own uniqueness. And love is not about suppressing, it is about expression and expansion. So ask yourself, this is one of the exercises, the practices that it shares in the lesson. It says, so ask yourself. Don't ask anybody else. Don't ask nobody else. Because you are the only, where's that at? You are the only authority in your life. Nobody else is. So you don't have to ask anybody else, and you don't need anybody else's permission when it involves something that you would love. So ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want right now? And so the exercise said that we should do this daily, right? We should do this daily. What is it that I desire today? To experience, to express. What do I desire to let go? What do I desire to embrace? What do I desire to taste? What do I desire to smell, to see, to touch, to feel? And so it says, ask yourself that question. Because at the heart of that question is your internal teacher that is willing and ready to share with you and respond to your request in terms of what you desire. Let's think about that. So it says that desire is everything, that desire is the energy that, or the elixir of life. In other words, even God's love that was initially expressed through love's own desire to extend and express itself. And therefore you got a world. Therefore you got not only a world, but you got worlds, you got galaxies, you got an abundance of creation. And so what we see in the natural is a reflection of what it is in the spiritual. Because you notice you don't just have a blade of grass, but you got a whole yard of it. A yard full of grass, right? You don't have just one ocean, but actually how much of the earth is covered with water? Scientists, 2/3 of the planet that we live on is water. So you just don't have a lake or a river or just one ocean, but you have a multitude, abundance of ocean. And not only do you have the ocean, but the ocean is filled with what innumerable inhabitants, right? When you go to the coast and you walk along the seashore, that's not just a few sand pebbles, but they're innumerable. In fact, when God spoke to Abraham, he used that metaphor. He said, "You're gonna have offsprings, Abraham, that are what? Innumerable." Right? So that is the love that's in all of us. That is the love that we are. Well, we have gotten a PhD in suppressing the love. It's almost like we've gotten a PhD in suppressing the very nature that we are. Thank you for that thumbs up, Brenda. And so tonight we want to break some of those myopic, uh, what's the word? S- Small, that means small. In the testament, what's that? Testament? Help me.
Infinitesimal. What that means.
Okay, well, I'm using the wrong word. I'm just trying to make a point. Sheila, you catch me, right?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't understand the word you were using, but I got the gist of what you were trying to.
What I am attempting to express to us tonight is for us to take these shackles off.
Myopic is a good word because
Myopic. There you go.
myopic.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yep.
Myopic. Thank you, Brenda.
Yeah, and I'm guilty of that.
I
Yes.
thought that's what you said, actually.
I said it first, and I think I
Yeah.
said it in low tone, but yeah,
Yeah.
we need to unchain ourselves from myopic thinking.
And myopic means what? Like a small view,
Small,
narrow
narrow-minded, yes.
view.
Really, it is an expression of suppression
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing it one way.
and depression.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Jill.
Hi, Jill.
Hey, how y'all doing? I
Well,
was
we didn't know you was there.
no,
Dr.
I put in the chat said that I'm
We see you.
join. I'll be something. I said I was driving, so I said I'll join on my
Oh,
computer
yeah,
soon. But I was here the whole time.
yeah.
Outstanding.
I tell you, one of the one of the one of the things that um, saddens me sometimes, and that sadness is just for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. I don't hang on to it. Is to see human beings that are sad. That are sad. They can't find anything in the moment to be happy about. They can't find anything in the moment to um, energize them. They don't allow that elixir of desire or that energy of desire, right, um, to come through and to show who they really are, what their nature really is. So, I mean, to see a sad face, when you see people that don't use the beauty of their smile, right, to express what's really true, you wonder what could be so wrong, right? And I'm not denying that humanity don't have external challenges and internal challenges that is always reaching for our attention and trying to get us to express, you know, those feelings and emotions and sensations, right? I mean, it's all that happens all to all of us. However, when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. But at some point, as I mature, I put away what? A childish ways. In other words, I quit faking it. I quit playing small. I quit suppressing the desire to love and to be and to express. I quit seeing myself as a limited self. But at some point, as I mature, I realize that there is no difference between love and me, between God and me. And who God is who I am. And God is not sad. God is not, withholding his full expression. So why do we do it to ourselves like that? Sometimes we can be We can have all of the outward things that we have desired, all the food we want, money, bills are paid, children are good, grandkids are good. You know, there's nothing in that moment that is distracting us, but the propensity is to what? Be Something's missing. We got to find if something, it can't
Yeah.
be all right.
Yeah.
Something's going to be all wrong. There's
Yeah.
something missing. And we go into a depressed state. Well, when we're doing that, we're not allowing the elixir of desire, the energy of desire to come through. We're doing that to ourselves. So I'm going to stop right there. That's my introduction.
Hey.
And I got all those thoughts and ideas from reading through the chapter this afternoon. And I got some more points that I want to express, but I wanted to start there because I want this lesson tonight to be practical, not just theory, you know, not just theory. Because I know, like, every day, we're all uh, bombarded with thoughts and ideas. Go here, go there, do this, do that, write this, call her, pray for them, give them, oh, I want to go here. I wish I could see this, da 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 da, all the time, right? And we have to manage that. Right? We have to prioritize that. So, yeah. So I'm gonna stop right there.
I like what you're saying because it aligns with a lot of things that we just talked about at church. Well, on Sunday when we said we had a choice as to which thought we would believe. And it also talks about with the 40-day course, where it's just love your life, you know. So that's all I want to say.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Jill. Here it says that the energy of desire, it links us with the very will of God. So when you have a desire, it's saying that that is the thing that really links us with the will of God. But we've been so programmed to suppress it, to deny it, to reject it for so many different reasons. And so we want to just look at that tonight and decide that we're going to break out of that mentality, right? Because it's a mentality. Right? It's not your, it's not a physical thing. It's a mental thing.
Yeah, I think desire gets a bad name, and there's different types of desire, certainly. But what I took from the reading is that desire can also lead you to your purpose, because people say I want to find my purpose in life, So I think through examining your desires, it can lead you in that direction. So that's sort of what I gleaned from the reading.
Yeah.
I
And
think
this,
I think we interchange the word lust. We use the word lust and desire as though
Mhm.
they are the same.
Right. Right.
Mm, they're not. It's sort of like,
right.
we use the word love loosely, oh, I love cheesecake, or I love,
Yeah.
and it really doesn't mean, we're not really meaning that. So we don't say what we mean, which means we don't mean what we say.
Right.
Yeah. And one of the biggest roadblocks, or one of the biggest opposition to us being free to be and to express, is our spirituality. Hello. Hello. Right? Because I would say probably everybody in this community probably got their start in through Bible teaching, right?
Some type of religion.
Or some type of religious teaching. And um and that's one of the most imprisoning, if misinterpreted, right, and shared from a place of from a place of fear, then it becomes the source of our suppression. It becomes the source of our suppression. And so um and that's hard to break. And that could be a hard thing to break. And that's one reason Yolanda and I do what we do, because we've been a part of that suppression. We've been a part of that legalism, right? We've been a part of the fear-based theology that can really uh, put you in a place where you wonder, where is love, right? Where is God? Well, if this is love and this is God and this is all there is, this is so imprisoning, right? And everybody else seems like they're having fun, then I must be with the wrong crowd, right? But see, but we have so trained our conscious and subconscious mind that guilt kicks in, right? And then it pulls us back, right, to, like Brenda says, our myopic thinking. Well, I can just be content with my four and no more. I don't really need nothing else. By the way, the Bible did say, for the love of money, we'll destroy it, or for the love of money, it's all, that's where all evil come from. Well, the Bible did say, you know, um, and whatever the Bible said. But if you look at the Bible and you would really hear what Jesus was saying, and even Paul sometime in the book of Galatians, Paul says, "Who has bewitched you?" Y'all remember? Any of y'all familiar with that scripture in Galatians? It says,
Mhm,
"Who has bewitched you?"
mhm,
Whereas, "Who have bamboozled you?"
mhm,
That you have been set free in the awareness that you are the Christ, or that in the awareness that you are in Christ, and that the Son has set you free, and that there is no sin. I took care of that. That you are no longer a bond slave, but you are now free to be the expression of love. So Paul said, "Who has bewitched you that you feel like you got to what? Go back under the law. Touch not, taste not, go not,
Feel not,
feel not,
enjoy not.
enjoy
That's
not."
that's what it's saying. It
That's
doesn't.
what it's saying.
But all that stuff is saying,
Yeah.
enjoy not,
Or desire not.
desire not.
So he
mhm,
said, "Who has bewitched you? Who has
mhm,
you? When we left you," Paul said, "when we left Galatia the last time, we preached the gospel to you, and it set you free. You were no longer under the law, but you're
mhm,
now the child of grace." He said, "Now we come back here on this second journey, and you guys are back up under the law. Touch not, taste not, drink not, eat not, and you put all these other people back under the law."
mhm.
Doesn't that sound like church today? Now we don't know about church today, because to be honest with you, we Yolanda and I, we have created our own church, so we haven't been back into the institutional church on a regular basis for the last 4 years.
We're not in the walls.
We're not in the
brick
walls of the church,
but
right?
we participate in the services.
Right,
Mhm.
and
Yes,
and
we can do that
right.
online. Yeah.
So Paul said, "Who's bewitched you guys?" And that's what he's talking about. Who called you to suppress the desires that I placed in your heart? Because that's what the scripture says. If I turn over, and we can use scripture if you use it in the right way, right? You always align it to love. And what does it say over there in Psalms? Uh, Over there in Psalms 37:4. Psalms 37:4. That's what it reads. It says, delight yourself. It says, delight yourself. So delight comes from yourself. It really doesn't come from outside of you, but it comes from yourself. He says, delight yourself in the Lord. Delight yourself, and that word Lord basically means love. Delight yourself in love. Delight yourself in yourself, which is your true nature, which is love. He says, delight yourself. And you know when you are the most delighted, when you have an idea, when you have a desire, and you move on that desire, and you move on that idea. So when you're sitting there eating that ice cream, oh, you just is delighting yourself in that ice cream. Are you watching that movie? You're delighting yourself in that movie. Are you visiting with your grandchildren? You're delighting yourself in them grands. If you decided to go to a baseball game, you're delighting yourself in that baseball game. If you desire to visit the sick and shut in, you're delighting yourself because that's a desire that you had, regardless of what it is, what expression it is. He says, so delight yourself. That's how this verse starts. Psalm 37:4. Delight yourself in love. Because if I use Lord or God, certain thoughts come to mind, right? Certain blocks will fly up, and we say, okay, no, delight yourself in love. Because that is what you are. Truly the real you loves you, because the real you is what? The real you is love. So delight yourself in love, and love will give you the desires of your heart. There it is right there in scripture. So it's like the universe is ready. It's just standing and waiting. Love is standing and waiting to see what you gonna say, to see what you gonna desire, to see what you want.
I'm standing and waiting to get in on the Zoom. That's what I desire, and that's what I want.
I just let you in, young lady.
Okay, thank you.
Or you didn't suppress that desire. There you go. Yeah.
I'm messing around, y'all.
Hey, listen, we love it. We love it. So listen, that's what it says. Delight yourself. You know, Yolanda and I mentioned here several times. Sometimes she'd go back on it, but I'm gonna remind y'all tonight. I'm gonna remind her tonight that nobody is responsible for your happiness.
I don't go back on that.
I'm not responsible for nobody's happiness, not even Yolanda's.
That's right. That's right. I don't go back on that. That was a revelation that I received and accepted.
Absolutely.
So, and I released you. I released you once I came to that revelation, because I was sincerely convinced
That I was responsible.
that he was the destroyer of my dreams. That was what I
Absolutely.
believed
Absolutely.
because of what had happened.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
I needed to learn that lesson.
Absolutely. This
And
world.
it benefited me to learn that lesson, because it's not a responsibility that he has. So
That was definitely my affliction in my 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
I definitely.
that was the beginning of the marriage. I mean, the
Yes.
beginning of marriage. It was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And if
it's not what I signed up for.
Yeah. It's our belief system, the outer world will gladly mirror back to you what you are feeling inside, what you're thinking inside. Likewise, what you are desiring inside, what you're feeling inside, where love is the motivation, the world will gladly mirror that back to you as well. Thank you, honey. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
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 Man,
No, I'm serious. I just
No,
like,
he does not have to remind me of that. I listen. I stay in that place because whew, I had a few lessons that were that I was making difficult. Um, the other one was
tell them, baby.
the to look for the good in everything. To be grateful in all things. That one was hard for me because I was thinking that I had to be great. No, to be great. Yeah, to be grateful for all things. I
Okay.
thought I had to be grateful in everything.
Yeah.
So that
Let,
was another one that I
yeah.
resisted.
Let,
But
let me say something to, let me say something to all of us. But I'm saying this specifically to those that are in a present physical challenge,
in what could appear to be
right?
a physical
What,
challenge.
right. And those that has been through physical challenges. And physical challenges take all kind of forms. You can't even name them all,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Lord knows when you go see your physician, they got a name for everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got a name for everything, right? But they're just doing their, this is no uh, negative thing I'm saying about physicians. I mean, physicians have their purpose, right? And God
Yeah.
knows we need them at times,
Yes.
and we thank God that for their knowledge. But but I'm going through the 40-day program right now with over 100 people, and I think Jill's in it too.
Yes.
But the last 3 days,
Man, my daughters
right? In the last
as
3
well.
days, we've been on the subject of sickness and what it says and what it has spoken to me loudly these last 3 days, right? Is that it's impossible for any of us to be sick. And if you are having challenges, right? Um, who is it that having the challenges? The only way it's possible for you to be sick is for it to be a reality that you are your body.
Mm-hmm.
But because you're not your body, that's what I say. That's what I mean when I say it is impossible for you. When I say you, I'm talking about the you that we all share, the God you, the spirit you, the I am you,
The you that we all are.
the you that we all are.
Yes.
Not the lateral, not the horizontal you, not the you that your mother and your father gave you. What your mother and father gave, all of what our parents gave us is temporary. That's not who you are. The life of you, that which breathes you, that which is you, is eternal. It's impossible for that you to be sick. And so when you say, when you're having challenges, that I am not sick, or it's impossible for me to be sick, you're not lying. Your ego would say, no, you can't say that. You can't even think that. Because look at these symptoms. Look at what I've had to go through, and look at, you know, but see, that's just an indication that we're listening to the voice that speaks for fear. The Course in Miracles call it the ego. The Bible calls it the devil. Doesn't matter what you call it, it's not the truth. And it don't speak the truth. It can only speak the lie because it's not a part of the truth. It's not a part of you. And see, we think that voice that's speaking to us is the true voice, and it's not.
It's not.
Your true voice is that the voice that speaks for God is in all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that voice sounds like me. But most of the time, that voice sounds like you. And so, going through these last 3 days, the Course says that true healing is hard without understanding what sickness is for. So, we have to understand what sickness is for. And the idea of sickness is to keep and to put a block between you and the truth. So those of you that may be presently having physical challenges,
So he's not saying those of you. He's saying for anyone.
for anyone. Well, I'm just talking to the group tonight. And then, of course, if you're listening to the replay,
That's right. So for anyone.
for anyone that may be having a physical challenge or may have had a protracted challenge physically. And sickness is just one form of the same thing. It could be, a struggle with finances, a struggle with lack or, scarcity. That's just another form of sickness, right? For some people, they've had a challenge in relationships. They can't find peace in relationships. That's just another form of what we can all categorize under the category of sickness, right? Sickness is not just some physical debilitation. Sickness really is that which is opposite of love. And the Course of Miracles says that there is no opposites in love. John chapter 4 says God is love. And everything that is born of God is born of what?
Of love.
It's born of love.
Mm-hmm.
So love is the only reality there is. And because our minds have not fully embraced that, right? We get so distracted by, the lack or the pain, right? Or the disharmony, where we're having trouble in relationships. Because some of our problems is politics. We are so dependent on politics to determine our quality of life. And so when it appears that our politics is going sideways, we can't have peace. Right? We so goes our politics, so goes us. And so politics have become another form of what? Sickness. And I can go on and on. Some of us are, are so afraid of quietness and silence that we always got to have noise going on around us all the time. So we always got to be what? Entertained instead of being entertained. Because when we're entertained, right, we prefer to hear ourselves. We prefer to, to enjoy ourselves, and we're okay with being with ourselves because we realize that we're not like with ourselves separate and apart from every other self, but we realize that we are in the presence of everything because we are a part of everything. And so I encourage you, all of us, if you're listening, if you're here, workbook lesson 135, 136, and 137 in A Course in Miracles. It deals with what I just shared with you. And it really just reminded me, right, that the true healer is the mind. The true thing that really heals is a mind that is at peace and is at rest.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is not to downplay other things that we do to enhance our healing, right? Like having certain treatments or certain aids to help us, right, to manage the discomfort. There's nothing wrong with that. That's
To
not what I'm
assist.
saying that. But ultimately, we have to know that the true healer is the healed mind. And the mind will never be at peace, never be at rest when it denies its very own nature, which is love. When it denies its very own identity, which is God or Christ or whatever term you use to um, recognize the divine self that you are. No matter what you call it. Words are twice removed from the truth. This isn't about labeling something, calling something. This is about being what is the only thing that you can be, and that is love. So I don't know. I had a desire to express this just in this moment. Right. And I did not suppress that, thinking it may come out the wrong way or it may not come out the right way. But I just wanted to say that for the benefit of all of us in this session tonight, and for the benefit of those that may be listening to us on the replay or on a clip that I may create from this talk tonight. So, yeah, and that
So
chapter
so I don't say that I can't be sick. I don't say that I can't get sick. I never say that. What I say is what my desire is. And I say what is truth, which is reality. And that is, I remain as
Yes.
I was, as I am created. And that's wholly healed and complete. So that's what I say. And that's why I have never, I never took ownership of any diagnosis. And when asked, well, are you saying you don't have that? No, I'm not denying that the doctors said that there was a diagnosis. What I deny is for that to remain in this temple, because my body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. So that vessel, has to be ready for that
Right.
spirit to be in there. So that's why I said that, and said it with such conviction and without any, without any hesitation.
Right. And you're not speaking from your incarnate self,
That's right.
your body, mind self. That's not who's speaking. You're speaking from your eternal self.
That's right.
Right.
So I'm going to read quickly. Oliver sent this one to me. He said, one of them was, I have forgotten what I really am, for I mistook my body for myself. Sickness is a defense against the truth, but I am not a body, and my mind cannot attack. So I cannot be sick. I accept the truth of what I really am. My mind is wholly healed. So that's in those lessons that Oliver.
Yes, that's one of the
was
workbook
talking about.
lessons.
From the Course in Miracles.
Yes. So I'm gonna pause right there again. I know I've said a lot, but I want everybody to have a chance to. You may have something you want to say, right? Just landing with you.
I just have a side question. The 40-day program that you're doing, is that Lisa Natoli's 40-day?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Because I signed up for that, but I never could get on board. I never could get online. But I don't know. Maybe next time around I'll get it.
Well, it's still available to you. You still have access to it. You can start it at any time.
Yeah, but I never could, I never could get online to view the videos or whatever. And so I kind of set it aside for, I was busy with the reunion and everything, so I kind of forgot about it. But I'm
When
still getting the emails and everything.
well, the emails you get every day,
Yeah.
that is for the lesson for that day. But every email for the lesson for that day also have the previous lessons in it. Like it'll have from day one. Like you should have got an email this morning, which was day 20, which is the halfway mark. But if you look at that email and open it up, it's got day 1 through day 20, and you can go back, start with 1, 2. You don't have to do it with the group, and you will have access to those videos and the lessons as long as you are registered.
Okay.
And if you've never taken it, and if you have, first of all, do you have a desire to do the 40-day?
I do. I do. I mean, that's why I originally signed up.
Right. So
But
if you have a desire to do the 40-day, right? There's only two things can come out of that. You can follow the desire, like it's what we're learning here in chapter 4, lesson 4, or you can suppress it,
Or you can take it at another time.
or you can take it at another time.
Because
Sheila, I'm in the same
That's what-
boat. I made it
That's
to
what I
lesson
mean when I say.
10.
Well, that's what I mean when I say you can follow the desire. It's just that you didn't have to. Just because
Right now.
the group, you're not with the group, you still can take it because it's still you're taking it on your own.
Yeah, I'm catching up.
It's a
right.
self-study.
I just have to figure out how to get online because I can't get
Oh,
on.
it won't. So even when you click it, it doesn't.
And when I
give you-
click it, it doesn't do anything. And maybe because I thought maybe it's because I'm using the Safari browser. I use like an Apple product.
Mine
But
works on Safari.
No, I tell
I
you,
have to sign in each time with
Right.
my password. Mhm.
Yeah, actually, I'm not. I'm using
yeah,
Edge,
I
not
think I
Safari.
tried the password reset or something. Anyway, I don't want to get off on my
we're
personal
not going
issue.
to, but
No, we're trying to get you into the course.
well,
But Sheila, you can call it. You can call at any time. You can call us at any time,
yeah.
and we can
Yeah. But this is but
do
this
do some
Yeah.
some
Yeah,
troubleshooting
but-
to get
right. But
Okay.
this is a practical example of us um, having a desire. And see, if you were being led to do this, you're being led to do it because it is the path to greater desires that you desire, right? Because
Yes.
I know the depth of this program and what it can do for you, right? So it's not just you doing a 40-day program. Say if you had a desire, I have a desire to learn how to do videography, or I have a desire to learn how learn artificial intelligence. Oh, I have a desire to learn how to cook. Oh, I have a desire to start a small group. Those are the things that this is the energy of God. He says it right here. It says desire links us to the will of God. And God would never, and love, I like to use the word love, and love will never stop using the energy of desire to get you to say yes, to get you to the place of expression that you never knew was a part of your being. Because this is about you experiencing the love that you are. You want to experience that, right? A cat wants to not have the nature of a squirrel or the nature of a hippopotamus. The cat wants to experience what its nature is, right? Likewise,
I don't know. Those hippopotamuses are those
right,
hippopotami are pretty
Right.
ferocious and
right.
strong.
The sun is the sun is in its glory when it's doing what?
Being the sun.
When it's shining, when it's providing light, when it's providing heat to warm the earth. The moon is in its glory when it's what? Providing light by night. The stars are in their glory when they're providing light by night, right? Right? So everything is in its glory when it's expressing its nature. Humanity is in its glory when it's expressing its nature, which is love. And the energy of desire is the mechanism that gets us to move into that expression. And just think how we all been programmed to suppress it or to deny it, right? And it's our thoughts that's doing that, right? So that's why I said true healing is when the mind becomes free, when the mind returns to its innocence, to where we can say yes to that, the movement of love that is moving through us all the time, versus us just being um, myopic in our thinking and being robotic in our expression, because that's what ends up happening. We build a box and we stay in the box, and the box don't make us happy, which the box can never make you happy. But what makes us happy is the freedom of expression, and not just expression of fear or hate or lack, right? But what makes us happy is the expression of love. That's the only thing that will ever make us happy, because that's what we are.
Yeah, love is what we are, but define what we are.
Excuse me?
You said define what we aren't
Know what we are.
or what we are.
Like a lot of people with the word love don't really understand that it's the essence of source energy. That's
It's the,
that's
it's the,
that's what
it's,
moves us for the desire.
yes, it's the essence of life. It is
Yes.
it is the source of all being.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? We're not an effect,
Mm-mm.
but we are part of the source. But in our humanity becomes a means of expression, right? Because like the actor on the stage, if the actor is Virginia, there, no, Virginia and the actor, there's not that's and Virginia being the actor, no, Virginia being the actor, and 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 love being who she really is, they're all the same. The expression, but the expression is temporary, but her nature or her essence is eternal.
Right. It never changes.
It never changes.
That's right.
So I like to use the word love because people seem to be more accepting of that. But you're right. I mean, we know that love can't be defined. God can't be defined. Um, I mean, how do you define source? As soon as we put a word on it, what's going to happen? That word puts limitation on it, and there is no limitation. The Tao Te Ching says, um, if it's the Tao, then it's not. If it can be named, then it's not the Tao.
Mm-hmm.
If it can be defined, it's not the Tao.
Brenda, you had your hand raised.
You are muted, Brenda.
Oh, I'm just saying, Mama wants to say something else there, I think.
Oh,
Go
come,
ahead,
go ahead,
Virginia.
No, I
Virginia.
wasn't.
No, okay. Well, I just wanted to say you used the word all over. You used the word because, and I just thought be cause. Like we're
Be
not you said we're not the effect, we're the cause. And
right,
so let's be cause.
right,
So
right,
that
right,
just that just popped out at me when you said because.
right. Yeah, and I also
I
want us,
like it.
and I
Mm-hmm.
also want us to move from the thought of identity or identification, because that's a dualistic idea also.
Mm-hmm.
There is no there is no object and subject in reality. There just is, right? And so it's not about us knowing our true identity, because that's dualistic, but it's about us experiencing our being, or the one being, or the only being that is in us experiencing that. So when we talk about, and I'm moving from that conversation. By the way, there's a 3-day conference coming up in October. The Center for Awakening. They're gonna have their annual conference, and that is what it's about. Moving from identity to being, because we just gotta elevate our thinking, our awareness, and start thinking from that divine place. Because when we think from any other place, we're subjugating
Okay.
ourselves uh, to a level that is not representative of our being and who we are.
Yeah, it's certainly
I mean,
limiting.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yes. Because our desire, all of our desire, is to know the self, right? And when that word "know" is an intimate word, and that is to be comfortable with the very essence of who you are. And a lot of people are not comfortable in their own skin. We see it every day, right? So, yeah, this is a journey of remembering. Our true nature hasn't gone anywhere. What has always been, it will always be. None of our human experiences can ever change the essence of who we are. You hear me say that time after time. This temporary experience, just like that wave that comes to the ocean and say, "Hey, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me." And then it goes back into the depth of the ocean. That's kind of how our life is. We come here for, you know, how many of the ever years we get to express ourselves, and we say, "Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me," and then, but what are we looking at? Because, like I said, all of our lives are teaching something. We're teaching something with our life. We're teaching what we believe. It may not be the truth, but we're teaching something. You know, and we see so many ideas that are being taught in the here in 2025 that are loveless. But that's the choice that has been made to, because of a lack of awareness, of a lack of understanding, right? And so much destruction, so much adversity, so much trauma and drama and pain and suffering. That's what's being expressed, and that reason that's being expressed is because of a suppression of the desire of love that wants to come through every life, every being, because every life and every being is the essence of that one life, right? So, uh, you got about you got about 14 minutes to finish up this subject. So, if anyone else has anything you would like to share or say,
All
or
right, Brenda had her hand raised before.
go ahead, Brenda.
Um, I just it was you said about having an ice cream cone that hit me, and Yolanda said you should be expressing joy. But see, I love ice cream. I haven't had one and I can't even remember. But as soon as I would eat one, I would just be fear kicks in. It's like, oh, that's gonna hurt you. You want to get well. You can't be eating an ice cream. But kind of you're saying no, whatever you do, do it with joy, and don't be fearful.
Right,
Just express the joy.
right, right.
Okay. So here's the thing. So um, I am what the doctors label lactose intolerant. So I can't have ice cream. But while I'm doing the treatments, they're like, anytime you crave something, eat what you crave because that's your body letting you know that it's needing something.
Oh, that's a perfect example of following the thread of desire.
So um I had a strong craving for this frozen custard. So it's not really ice cream, it's made with egg yolks and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, and so but I know, I have the experience. I have experienced what happens when I eat ice cream like that. I'm going to be bloated, and then I'm going to be, I'm going to be cramping, and it's going to be painful. So one morning after I had treatment, I went to the frozen custard place. I was there about a
And
quarter till
why
11
did you go there?
because I had a desire.
You had a strong desire.
Very strong desire. And so instead of getting the largest that they had, I got the smallest one. I got the smallest one that they had. I ate half of it. I put the other half in the freezer. And the whole time I was eating it, I kept saying, boy, this is just so good. Oh, this is just because it really was good. I had a key lime concrete with cheesecake bites in it. Okay. Oh, it was just so good. And so, okay, nothing happened. And I was like, yes. So I waited a couple days because, I mean, I don't need to be tempted or trying, right? So I waited a couple days and then I ate the other half, right? I had diarrhea so bad, but I thoroughly and completely enjoyed that ice cream.
Oh.
And it only lasted for a little while. I mean, that's okay.
No. She looked at me last night. She said, I said, I'm going up to the store. She said, could you bring me back a piece of key lime pie? She said, because I'm desiring it,
I have
and
been,
I'm not, and I'm just
I'm just going to be satisfied.
I'm not
until
gonna
I
be
get there.
satisfied till I just see myself eating a piece of key lime pie. I said, cool. So I go to the store, and this particular grocery store did not have any in stock like that she likes because she don't like the boxed key lime pie. She likes the fresh cut, da 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 da.
The ones they make back in the bakery.
Make in the bakery.
Yeah.
So today I said, oh, I got to run to the store. She said, well, why don't you go to this other store and see if they have the key lime pie? I said, sure. So I went to the other store, and they had not a slice of key lime pie, but they had a half of key lime pie. And so I come back with the half of key lime pie. Have you eaten a piece?
I've already had a
And
I've already
and
tried.
she's already had a slice. You notice she ain't having no kind of negative reaction, right? And she's just happy. She was, I wasn't, but I know she was happy because that's what she desired. That is the most innocent. That is the most innocent expression of love, of essence, of truth, just simply wanting to express itself, simply wanting to experience itself. And it can't express itself, it can't experience itself on this plane, this physical plane, without the use of these physical bodies, right? These bodies are the instrument to communicate the experience of that expression. That's why the Course in Miracles said these bodies are communication devices. That's what they are. They are, like your car is the vehicle to move you from
One
one
from
place
point
to
A to
A.
point B.
Right, right. But the car ain't you. The car isn't you. But you are aware of a car that you have that can make you mobile. Look at your body the same way. Your body is a healthy,
Serviceable
serviceable instrument. That's what it is. But see, but
for
when
my mind to
right
be able
to
to
express
express it.
the essence of it, right? So when we try to put purposes on the body that it cannot fulfill, the body can never be you. The body can never be the eternal self because it's a temporary entity. So when we try to put purposes on the body that it cannot fulfill. Like 95% of the people on the planet think that they are the body, or the body is who they are. And they put that demand on the body, and we see it cannot fulfill it. It can only disappoint. It can only disappoint. So part of our journey of awakening is letting go of the idea that we are something other than the essence of life itself. We are not doing life, we are life. We're not separate and apart. We're not isolated. We're not here and something else is over there. We feel just as the scripture says, God is all and in all and feels all, so do we. So do you. We are not separate. We are not bodies. All minds are joined. All minds are joined. That's why from your little myopic space on the planet, you can connect with any other mind on the planet just from your little chair, your little space. You can sit quietly and hold the idea that all minds are joined, that there is no separation, that I am not a body. I am this eternal self that is shared with all these other selves that appear to be separate, but we're not. It appears that way, but we're not. There is but the one. So all this happens in the mind. Just as I'm speaking and saying this, and you're feeling this, right? That is what is eternal. Because you know, like I know, all of these bodies go back into a box. So if you hold the idea that we got to save the body, that the body is the most important thing, then you will be depressed. Because you're putting purposes on it that it cannot fulfill. But when you lean into your eternal self, your eternal mind, it is endless, it is formless, it is timeless. It was before the earth was, and it will be after the earth is gone. That's what will make you happy. Because that's the truth about you. That's the truth about all of us. And it's time for us to like come home to that and be that, right? Not necessarily express it, but just be it. Just let the love shine. Let the essence of who you are shine in every moment. We can do it.
I want to read. I'd like to read from the book, um, because it does talk about healing and desire. I'm going to start on page 45. This is under the section of desire is everything. It says, and it's sort of what we had talked about earlier when we were talking about how I thought Oliver was the death of all of my dreams. It says, if you were to walk down one of your city streets and to truly look into the eyes of everyone you see, would you not recognize that death seems to have already made a home in the minds of many that are living? Death of dreams, death of hope, death, death of worthiness, death of playfulness, death of true power, and death of union with their source and creator has already taken place. So that's really what is going on. That death of true power and death of union with their source and creator has already taken place. And then it says on the next page, it says, healing requires the willingness to feel desire, to feel desire. Healing requires the willingness to feel desire, to see it as good and to see it as holy. Does that not mean that if you feel a desire, that it might not become twisted by the egoic patterns in your mind? Of course not. There is always the possibility that desire will be twisted to meet the needs of the egoic mind within you. But rest assured, if it does, who has done it? You. Always within you, you have known that desire is good, but you suppressed it. Suppressed it. Those times when desire came forth and you let it become twisted into serving the goals of the ego, you always knew perfectly well what you were doing. You were the decision maker. It says, you have learned, therefore, to fear desire because that fear is the effect of fearing yourself. And that is what cripples.
I can't hear you.
Is anyone else having problems hearing?
No, I can hear Ma. You might want to turn up your speaker, but you keep tapping something. Are you tapping something on your phone? Ma? Are you trying to tap the speaker? Oh, I don't know if she can hear us. Nope, she can't hear.
Yeah.
I'll give her a call.
Okay. So it says, you've learned, therefore, to fear desire because that fear is the effect of fearing yourself. And that is what cripples you. That is what cuts off the creative flow. That is what leads to everything your world knows as the multitude of psychological diseases, an unwillingness to trust one's self, an unwillingness to love one's self, and the belief that the desires that move up through your beingness are something evil and dark. So it is our perception that is creating, that's what's creating the situations that we find ourselves in.
That goes back to what I said earlier when I said oh, I just lost my thought.
Okay, so I'll finish it with this then. It goes on to say, the only relationship that holds any value at all is your relationship with God, your creative source, the depth of the ocean. I'm going to skip the next one because it just asks some questions about different people, mate, parents, children, that. It says the only one, and we're talking about relationships, the only one that holds value is your relationship with God. For when that is in alignment, all of your creations, your choices for relationships, and how you will be within them will flow effortlessly from that alignment. Therefore, seek first the kingdom, and all these things will be added unto you. Do not try to create a rose by starting with the petals, but nourish the roots, and the flowers must blossom. If you are to be in right relationship with your creator, it is absolutely necessary to correct your perception and relationship with the energy of desire. So it begins by releasing your judgment of it in all of its forms. For again, you can only be in love or fear. You can only be in innocence or judgment. Love and innocence are of the kingdom. Fear and judgment are of illusion. So, there again, our thinking admit.
Right. Okay. And that's what I meant. Oh, I got my thought back. That's what I meant earlier when I said the only thing that needs healing is the mind, right?
Mhm.
Because without a healed mind, like it said here, we're afraid of our own self. We're afraid of our own desire. We're afraid of desire. We fear love. We suppress it. But we have learned better here. And this whole lesson, and I'm closing. In closing, this lesson. Are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So this whole lesson, and I'm ending here on desire, again, has to do with our willingness, and it only takes a little willingness to look upon the energy that is moving through us through the form of desire, to be willing to look at this and to look at it through the eyes of our innocence and in the wonder of a child, right? And just for a moment, imagine, experience, open yourself up to the purity that you are, right? To be willing to let go of every experience, every idea, everything, just for a moment. You know, the Course in Miracle calls it the holy instant, where we will just for an instant moment release ourselves from everything that we've been taught and experience ourselves for the first time, where there is no limitation. There is no hurt. There is no pain. There is no lack. There is no sickness. There is no disease. There is no life. There is no death. It just is. And we are that. And that's what desire can do for us. So we leave this study with the willingness to look at and to look at all of what is that we desire, all that I want. What is it that you want? To look at it through the eyes of innocence and be willing to say yes to the expression of that. And you don't have to get anybody's permission, no one's permission. And so it is.